Welcome, welcome, and Happy New Year! This is Tarot to a T, and I'm so glad to see you here today. If this is your first time, thank you for finding my channel. Hope you stick around, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to do a January 2023, guys, for the sign of Aquarius. So we're going to open it up with a general inquiry. What message does Aquarius need to hear at the beginning of this glorious new year? And no, I'm not Dr. Seuss, but that was a great rhyme. Looks like we do have something brewing for Aquarius. January 2023. Can you believe it? It seems like we should be more high-tech or something more futuristic than we are, but when it comes down to it, it is still just 2023. And time marches on. Okay. We're going to get started here, Aquarius. I'll move that over just a bit. I do try to keep the cards in the frame of the camera. I know sometimes I go off the side, but I do try to prevent that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Jack of Hearts, you may be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This could be you. You could have your heart open in general, or for something specific that we will turn up more cards and see if it's about relationship or just the world in general. But when we have our heart open, the thing to remember is there's a degree of vulnerability. The Jacks are usually about people who are younger at heart in some sense. It could indicate inexperience or immaturity. Let's go ahead and see what else is going on for you, though. Two of Clubs. Some kind of communication needs to occur here to restore the balance. Just 1 second, please. There could be a degree of impulsiveness around some subject matter that you need to discuss. Like not really thinking through what you need to say, so that the communication is spotty. Three of Spades. Yeah, Three of Spades. Worry, stress. You were definitely worried about something. Probably has something to do with this lack of communication, or I'm going to say not quality communication. It's lacking some quality and depth. Also with the three, we're looking at third party. So you could be dealing with a couple of different people, or like there's an outside influence that's affecting the situation, you know, that kind of thing. Two of Diamonds. It could be around finances. Now the Two of Diamonds does generally speak about things being really good in a partnership of some kind, and especially around finances. Like the financial health of the relationship is excellent. It could be that you are having discussions about money with somebody that you're involved with, family or spouse. I keep getting drawn back to that Jack of Hearts, though. So your heart is open, so I think you're open to perhaps negotiation or discussing it. Could be the other person who's not stepping up to the plate. But let's go ahead and ask for more cards about Aquarius' situation for January 2023. And I apologize if I'm sniffling. I'm not sick. I just, for some reason, I'm stuffy this morning. Five of Spades, Seven of Diamonds. So the Five of Spades talks about a breakup. You could have broken up with somebody or some situation that resulted in some kind of splitting up of resources, in particular money, assets. Could have been property. I mean, really anything under the sun. And if it wasn't a relationship, it was like maybe a job situation where you agreed to resign and there was a settlement. So it wasn't like you got fired. It wasn't like that at all. It was more like you're not walking out without your fair share, you know? Maybe you were in business with somebody and you're like, yeah, I'm done with this, so give me my share and I'll walk away. Seven of Diamonds does talk about being careful with risky decisions and not gambling. Maybe it was a risky decision to begin with, and now it's falling apart. It's broken up. The breakup energy with this five, it talks about changes, obviously, but the changes are coming from the outside. It's not something you instigated, so it's like things being out of your control, and maybe a degree of it being unexpected. Now, obviously, if you invested in something that was risky, you don't expect it to fail, because obviously you wouldn't invest. So I feel like it could be energy coming from another party that led to its dissolution. Yeah, you're splitting off with somebody here, and it's pretty final. Now, with the Two of Spades, it doesn't necessarily talk about romance, although this could definitely be speaking for Aquarians breaking off a relationship. Sometimes it could just be friendship or business partner. The thing to recognize with the Two of Spades is it's pretty final. It's not going to turn around, even though communication needs to still happen. I think it's about probably divvying up the finances, because it looks like the finances were there. They were solid. It's just the situation was not working out. And it's stressing you out a bit. What else can you tell me about Aquarius's situation for the beginning of this new year? January 2023. Jack of Diamonds. Could be dealing with a younger earth sign. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Again, it's a Jack, so it could indicate somebody who's younger than you or less experienced. You know, there's some kind of hierarchy, perhaps, between you. If you're embodying this energy, again, it's kind of the energy of somebody having new financial wealth in some sense. Probably not over the top millionaire kind of wealth, but nonetheless, you don't have a lot of experience with it, so perhaps that's why the Seven of Diamonds came out about being careful with what you do with it and how you use it. I tend to think this is another person involved, because this really vibes with me with this. You took a risk in some kind of investment or some kind of business opportunity, or perhaps in a person. You know, it was like one of those relationships that doesn't last long. And it ended up in breakup, not working out. So I think the Jack of Diamonds could represent that earth sign that you're dealing with. What else can you tell me about Aquarius and their situation? Well, this is leading to some personal growth. You're probably learning a lot, especially if it's, I think in any case here, it's about dealing with people in some kind of relationship, relationship situation, whether romance or not, does not matter. And you're learning a lot from this experience. The Six of Clubs also talks about it opening up. As a result of this learning and kind of maturing in some way, you're opening up yourself for better opportunities, better options coming this way. So this is actually very good. You kind of need to hang in there. I don't see any energy here of you wanting to give up, but there's definitely stress around it, and you're probably tempted to walk away, but communication needs to happen. So you can't exactly do that. Now, the Two of Hearts does talk about the desire for closeness and companionship in some manner. Again, if this is not romantic, I think it could go either way, but if it's not romantic, it just means you want to be at peace with this person. You want to be on the same page with them. You want to feel like you're still connected. Same thing in the romantic sense. You are still attached to them in some way. There's an element of emotional connection to them. But I think we really need to pay attention to this, to a spades that's saying this is over. And it's not going to reverse itself. Now that doesn't mean the two of hearts there is saying that you want to patch things up and for things to go back to normal. It's just it's a desire. It's a probably a deep held desire that you're not exactly showing to anybody else. It's just deep down inside you're really disappointed in the situation. Sorry, I got some crap on my cards, and I probably need to go through these and clean them up. They just tend to get grease and oil on them, I think, from my hands and the ashes and stuff, you know, from the incense. Anything else you can tell me about Aquarius' situation and how they're feeling about this, the communication that needs to happen in the new year? Hope it's a good one for everyone. Four of Clubs. Well, you are feeling very secure in your home and lifestyle. So, relationship or not, I keep going back to that because I feel like it could apply in both cases. It's not affecting your lifestyle. You're not like in danger of having to move or, you know, finding yourself in some awful debt situation. There's a lot of security and stability around that, and that's good. It's all solid. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Eight of Clubs. Yeah, you're trying to make a decision here. It may be about this communication and how to handle this situation going forward. It also could indicate the communication hasn't been good because you are digging in your heels and you're being stubborn about something. This is the card of fixed ideas, stubbornness, you know, set on a particular outcome. So you're kind of at a crossroads because it's not resolved. Yes, things are very much still up in the air with the Joker energy. This is the black and white Joker, so it's also the Fool card. So there's some elements here that of unknowns. The Fool energy, the way I interpret it, is it's kind of like when we're metaphorically, if we're traveling down a road we can't see around the corner. We don't know what's around the corner, but it's also could be that there's hidden, well, I'm not going to say hidden information. I mean, there's a particular card that comes out if there's something being hidden from you, and it's information that would probably change things, you know what I mean? This is more about just kind of being in the dark. And you're not really sure how it's going to turn out. That's definitely Fool energy. The Eight of Diamonds, you definitely want to go out on your own. You want to be independent from this. This is the entrepreneurial card. If you've been thinking about, if this was a business situation, you've been thinking about doing your own thing. The indication with this card is hard work, effort, time, and energy will pay off in spades. And it's funny I say spades because I'm dealing with cartomancy here and spades, but it's not about the spades. It's about that's just a figure of speech, right? It's just that it's going to pay off greatly. Whether you're starting something on your own or just getting away from the situation, you're going to get rewards from that. It's going to pay off. Yeah, this is going to be a major loss. The 10 indicates the end of a chapter, wrapping up something major in your life. That's just, you're going to put it behind you. I like to see these 10s actually in the cards of advice because it says, you know what, this is over. It's going to be behind you. Wrapping up a chapter that way. But I will tell you, the 10 of spades is pretty heavy energy. There's a lot of disappointment wrapped up in this card. And loss, and just you having to go through some mental and emotional gymnastics to process it and heal from it and not carry around this resentment. But you might be for a while. It's that kind of thing. This wasn't just like this benign situation to you. This was actually way more important. What else cards of advice can you give for Aquarius? What other cards of advice can you give for Aquarius? Queen of Hearts. Again, this is water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Queen of Hearts is a very nurturing, motherly type of energy. She's got some authority and power. This could be somebody around you that you can rely upon. They could help nurture you through this difficult period. Perhaps give you advice about communication. If this doesn't sound like somebody around you, it could be that you're embodying this energy. You could have water in your chart, and you're in the self-nurturing mode, you know, taking care of your own needs. But in a loving way, not necessarily in a selfish way, but it may be perceived by others that way. The Nine of Diamonds, yeah, you reach some kind of completion here. In this situation, again, it's going back to finances, where you're able to take some financial responsibility as a result. Again, the completion tells me it's over and it's behind you. The positive side of that is now you can pay off debt. You can take care of things that have been neglected, like, you know, car repairs, home repairs, replacing, you know, whatever it is under the sun. Maybe you had some appliances break down and you just haven't bothered to replace them for lack of money and lack of time. That's what the Nine of Diamonds speaks about, which is good. And it's kind of fitting with that Queen of Hearts energy of taking care of things, taking care of yourself. So this situation is going to allow you to take care of yourself better. That's what I'm getting from it. Well, Three of Clubs. Yeah, you're still fighting and struggling, though, in this situation. So there's an element of it that's not over. The Ten of Spades, I think, speaks about the overall connection with this person or this situation, but you're still struggling. Sorry, in some sense. It could be wrapped up with the finances and whatever needs to be divvied up and what's coming to you, that sort of thing. Because that communication could be definitely relevant to that. Again, with the three energy, it's a third party energy or another element coming in and kind of confusing matters. Maybe somebody else's opinion. Again, if you're stuck on an outcome, I mean, being in a struggle and a fight obviously kind of fits with that, right? Because it's a decision, but it's also being stuck. So, yeah, that's being in a state of conflict, even if it's just internally. You are going to reap some awards here. This is basically the windfall card. Again, it's about stability and things being really stable in your home, because the finances will help in that matter, as it would for most of us. But there's also a warning here about overspending. So I think it's significant enough to say, Aquarius, the financial payout, settlement, whatever form it takes, is significant enough that you need to be careful with how you use it. Any more cards of advice for Aquarius, please? Nine of Hearts, wish fulfillment, completion. There you go. Yeah, you wanted this to be over. Whatever went south, whatever went bad, it's something you definitely wanted to be rid of on a deep level. It's probably not something that happens overnight. Again, there could be an element of it being unexpected, out of your control, a little bit tumultuous there for a bit, but ultimately, yeah, you just want to be done with it, and it's a wish fulfillment. So in that sense, it's positive. it's a situation you need to break away from, and there still needs to be some communication here, and that's what you're struggling with. That's what you're worrying about a little bit. I'm going to end it here, but just to wrap this up, things are a bit still up in the air because you're trying to make a decision about probably how to communicate. Now that with this reading, you've gotten a clear message that communication needs to occur. You're not sure where it's going to go with that full energy, right? Just not sure how it's going to turn out. But it is going to wrap this up. It's going to put it all behind you. And the hard work here that you've put in and that you will put in into settling it is going to pay off. Especially if you just want to go off and do your own thing. I think there's, again, an indication of that. A lot of the signs this year kind of have that indication of, you know what, if you want to do your own thing, you want to start up your own thing, go for it. This is the year to do it. And you're in this self-nurturing mode, which I really like to see. Sorry. With that Queen of Hearts. And this financial gain is going to allow you to take better responsibility. But again, the struggle there with the Three of Clubs, I think, is just kind of getting to that point where now you can take that responsibility. Maybe you're in the midst of decisions of how to take the responsibility. You know, do I pay off this debt? Do I pay off that debt? You may not be able to pay them all off, so maybe you're kind of in that space of you're not sure which is more to your advantage. But definitely there's still some worry here about negotiating to get out of this situation once and for all. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for joining me. I thought, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you gleaned some, some ideas, some guidance here that will be helpful in your situation. However it applies to you. Don't make it fit your situation. That's always the thing I have to say. The disclaimer, don't make it fit, but if it resonates, take it how it resonates and use it in a positive way, right? Okay, Aquarius, if you would like to see the next reading and want to be notified of that, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. You can always just save this video and check back in with my channel later if you don't want to subscribe. I get it. Too many notifications on the phone can be overwhelming. But Happy New Year. I'm glad to see you here, and I hope you come back, and take care until I see you again.